You watch a T20 cricket match from the stands, and it can look like, well, just pure, unadulterated chaos.
Oh, absolutely. Just pure adrenaline.
Right. You see these massive sixes disappearing into the upper decks. You've got stumps cartwheeling out of the ground, and the crowd is just losing its collective mind.
It's designed to feel like it's driven entirely by raw power and instinct.
Exactly. But if you actually look at the data, the kind of deep dive analytics sitting in front of us today for Match 8 of IPL 2026, it's a completely different story.
Yeah, the match between the Delhi Capitals and the Mumbai Indians.
Right. And looking at that match proves that beneath that chaotic surface, T20 is actually a ruthless, highly calculated game of chess.
I mean, we aren't just looking at the final score today. Anyone can pull up a sports app and see that DC chased down 163 to win by 6 wickets, you know?
Yeah, the surface level result doesn't really tell you anything about how it actually happened.
Exactly. The mission of our deep dive today is to peel back the curtain on the invisible math that dictated that outcome.
The hyper-specific bowler strategies, the matchups.
Right, the calculated suppression of star batters, and those exact granular moments where the momentum irreversibly swung.
Because when you really break down a clash of this magnitude, the margin between winning and losing almost never comes down to who simply, hit the ball harder.
No, it's entirely about resource management. It's about exploiting specific mechanical flaws in your opponent in real time.
Yeah, and to understand how DC actually managed to chase down this target, you have to rewind the tape to the very beginning.
You really do.
You got to look at how Mumbai's innings was completely compromised right out of the gate.
Well, the first major turning point of the game happened incredibly early. It essentially dictated the terms of engagement for the rest of the night.
Right, the third over.
Exactly. In the third over of the first innings, Mukesh Kumar came in and just bowled this devastating sequence that dismantled Mumbai's top order.
I mean, he strikes twice in just the blink of an eye. First, he gets Ryan Rickleton, who was, looking to go downtown and assert some early dominance.
But he edges a length delivery.
Yeah, it just jags away a fraction off the seam.
Mm.
And Axar Patel takes a sharp catch at mid-off. So Rickleton is gone for 9.
And then, literally 2 balls later, Tilak Varma steps to the crease.
And Mukesh throws down this 114-kilometer-per-hour slower ball.
Just a brilliant piece of bowling.
Varma chips it straight back to the bowler for a golden duck. So Mumbai is suddenly staring at a scoreboard reading 18 for 2.
And let's examine the mechanics of that slower ball to Varma, because it wasn't just a random change of pace.
Right. There was a specific purpose to it.
Yeah. Bowling 114 kp at that specific length on this pitch, it forces the batsmen to generate all of their own power.
Ah, because Varma is anticipating pace on the ball to simply, guide it into the gaps.
Exactly. But the ball grips the surface just enough to hold up. That microsecond of delay disrupts Varma's timing entirely, causing him to play his shot early.
So it's a deliberate mechanical disruption.
It really is. And the data models we have outline exactly how much those 2 quick wickets derailed Mumbai's entire evening.
Oh yeah, there is this counterfactual scenario in our phase reports. They literally call it a Black Mirror scenario, which is just an amazing name for a stat model.
It kind of is, yeah.
It calculates what happens if Rickleton just converts that start.
The model projects this really fascinating alternate reality. It asks, well, what if Rickleton doesn't get out for 9, but instead bats until the 8th over and scores 40?
Right.
The resulting projection pushes Mumbai's total from the 162 they actually achieved all the way up to approximately 193.
Okay, I have to stop you there and challenge that model a bit.
Go for it.
I'm looking at the same sheet, and the math feels, I don't know, a little exaggerated. How does Rickleton scoring 31 more runs magically add over 30 runs to the team's final total?
I get why it looks weird, but it's all about risk profiles and the cascading effect of resource management.
Okay, how so?
In T20 cricket, your top order wickets are your most valuable currency for setting a dominant total. If Rickleton stays in, the middle order doesn't have to face the swinging new ball.
Oh, I see. So the guys coming in later have it easier.
Exactly. Batters like Suryakumar Yadav or Hardik Pandya can come in during, say, the 12th or 13th over with a massive platform already built.
Which allows them to swing freely from ball 1.
Right. But because Mumbai lost 2 wickets by over number 3, their entire tactical framework shifted from attack to self-preservation.
Okay, that makes perfect sense.
Ah.
It's kind of like building a house, right? Like if you pour a solid foundation, you can build a penthouse on top of it.
That's a great way to look at it.
But Mukesh Kumar's double strike essentially built Mumbai's house on a cracked foundation. Everything they did after the third over Wasn't building, it was just trying to stop the walls from caving in.
Which forces a massive psychological shift on the field. I mean, we saw Rohit Sharma and Surya Kumar Yadav put together a 74-run partnership over the next 53 balls.
Yeah, and statistically, they scored at a strike rate of almost 140, which, on paper, looks like an efficient, solid phase of play.
But if you were watching it live, they never really looked dominant.
No, they were constantly in repair mode. And because they were forced to patch those early cracks, an immense amount of pressure fell squarely onto Rohit Sharma's shoulders.
He had to simultaneously anchor the innings and accelerate the run rate.
And the Delhi Capitals recognized that desperation immediately. They knew exactly how to weaponize it.
This brings us to what might be the most brilliant tactical matchup of the entire tournament.
Oh, the Axar Patel sequence.
Yes. The Delhi Capitals engineered Rohit's downfall using Axar Patel, and the numbers behind this specific duel are just staggering.
You really are.
Axar bowled to Rohit and completely stifled him, resulting in a 63% suppression rate.
It's the ultimate chess match. I mean, Rohit faced 8 balls from Axar and managed to scrape together only 4 runs.
Which is a strike rate of 50.
Yeah, and for context, Rohit's strike rate against every other bowler during his innings was up near 135.
Cutting a premier batsman's scoring capacity by almost 2/3 is a massive statistical anomaly.
Especially Rohit Sharma. He's historically a phenomenal player's spin.
He is, but his specific scoring mechanic relies heavily on stepping out. He loves to charge down the track, assert physical dominance, and disrupt the spinner's length.
So how does Axar counter that mechanically?
Yeah.
Like, does he just bowl faster to beat Rohit in the air?
It's a combination of pace and a highly specific trajectory. Axar bowls this flat left-arm orthodox trajectory.
Sorry.
Instead of tossing the ball up in a looping arc, which gives a batsman that crucial split second to leave the crease while the ball is descending, Axar darts it in.
So he just flattens it out,
Yeah, it is essentially a flat line from his hand to the pitch.
pinning Rohit to the crease. If there's no loop, there's no time to use your feet without running the risk of getting stumped by a mile.
Exactly. And Axar maintained the suffocating pressure over a 3-over squeeze. He was relentlessly patient, bowling back of a length, angling the ball away from the right-hander.
Completely drying up the boundaries.
This is the modern application of analytics on the field. You aren't just throwing a spinner at a batsman hoping they miss a shot.
Right. You are deliberately constructing a high-pressure environment to force a predictable mechanical error.
And the error happens right on schedule in the 10th over.
Oh, yeah. Rohit is so desperate for a boundary to break the squeeze that he slaps wildly at a length ball spinning away from him.
And he hits it straight to Nitish Rana at cover, who times his jump perfectly to take the catch.
A dismissal that was literally the planned, calculated outcome of 3 overs of setup.
Completely manufactured.
Let me play devil's advocate for a second, though. Is this just Axar Patel having an incredibly accurate day, or is this an actual replicable template?
Good question.
Like, if I'm another franchise captain reviewing this footage, am I copying this exact strategy the next time my team plays Mumbai?
Well, the analytics report explicitly notes that this is a replicable template.
Really?
Yeah, when you have a batsman whose scoring mechanic relies on stepping out, and you counter it with a high-pace, flat-trajectory spinner who turns the ball away from the bat, the math is overwhelmingly in the bowler's favor.
So it's a proven formula.
Yes, it's a formula that other teams will undoubtedly adopt.
All right, so through early wickets and this tactical squeeze, Mumbai is restricted to 162 for 6. It's a competitive score, sure.
But on the Arun Jaitley Stadium pitch, it's certainly not a monster total.
Not at all. So now Delhi has to chase. And shockingly, they start off in a scenario that mimics Mumbai's chaos almost perfectly.
Yeah, Delhi found themselves reeling at 7 for 2 after just 1.4 overs.
Just a disastrous start.
Yeah.
KL Rahul was strangled down the leg side, caught behind for 1.
And then 3 balls later, Nitish Rana is run out by a brilliant direct hit from Jasprit Bumrah.
So both teams find themselves instantly in the red zone. They've traded high-value top-order wickets for barely any runs on the board.
But the way these two teams manage their respective middle phases, which the data defines as over 7 through 15, is the entire margin of victory in this match.
Let's look at the raw numbers first. Mumbai scored 92 runs for the loss of 2 wickets in this phase.
Right.
While Delhi scored 97 runs for the loss of just 1 wicket.
And that differential, 5 extra runs, and crucially 1 fewer wicket lost, is everything when chasing a total of 163.
But how did Delhi actually achieve that differential? If both teams suffered a collapsed top order, why was Delhi's middle phase so much more effective than Mumbai's repair job.
They couldn't have just gotten luckier, right?
No, exactly.
It came down to their approach to strike rotation and field manipulation, while Mumbai's middle order tried to hit their way out of trouble with high-risk boundaries.
Which led to a higher dot ball percentage when they missed.
Exactly. Delhi, on the other hand, focused on surgically finding the gaps. They targeted the deeper pockets of the outfield, ensuring they were constantly taking ones and twos off the spinners.
Rather than letting the pressure build.
Right. They essentially refused to let the Mumbai bowlers string together 3 dot balls in a row.
Which keeps the required run rate manageable without taking massive risks.
And Pathom Nissanka was the absolute anchor of this strategy.
Oh, he was fantastic. He comes in, plays this beautifully measured innings of 44 off 30 balls, and stabilizes the chaos.
He builds a crucial 74-run partnership with their impact sub, Samir Rizvi.
Right up until we reach the second major turning point of the match.
Over 9.5.
Yeah, Mitchell Santner bowls a pretty poor delivery, frankly. It's a drag down.
A gift?
Nissanka's eyes light up. He swivels to pull it over the leg side, but the ball gets big on him. He gets a massive top edge that balloons up behind the stumps, and he's caught.
And at that exact moment, the Delhi Capitals are 73 for 3.
They need 90 runs from exactly 60 balls.
A required rate of 9.0 per over, and the analytics flag this specific moment as highly critical. DC's win probability plummets to 47%.
Okay, I have to push back on the model again here.
Go ahead.
90 runs off 60 balls in modern T20 cricket is like standard operating procedure. It's only a run and a half a ball.
Sure.
So why does losing Nissanka suddenly make Delhi this statistical underdog at 47%?
It's because of who is left sitting in the dugout. At 73 for 3, Delhi is exposing their lower middle order much earlier than planned.
Oh, I see.
David Miller is walking to the crease, and while he is undeniably dangerous, if he or Rizvi gets out in the next 2 overs, Delhi is down to their tailenders while still needing 70-plus runs.
So it's the fragility of the remaining batting lineup that drags that percentage down.
Exactly. The match was teetering on an absolute knife edge.
So at 47%, the game is completely up for grabs. If Mumbai bowls 2 tight overs right there, the required rate creeps past 10 or 11, the panic sets in, and Mumbai likely walks away with the win.
But instead of Mumbai tightening the grip, we hit the absolute inflection point of the match, the moment the game violently breaks open.
Samir Rizvi decides to unleash total carnage.
Yeah, and Mumbai's tactical playbook just falls to pieces.
The resulting partnership between Rizvi and David Miller is devastating. I mean, they put together 70 runs in just 34 balls.
That is a strike rate of 205.9.
Insane. They took a tense 47% probability nail-biter and turned it into a total formality.
Let's zoom in on the specific over that broke the back of the run chase. The 11th over, bowled by Shardul Thakur.
Rizvi is on strike. First ball of the over, he carves Thakur over extra cover for a massive 6.
Second ball, he deposits him over mid-wicket for another 6.
By the end of the over, Thakur has bled 18 runs.
And the data captures the psychological break of the fielding team right there. In the span of 6 deliveries, DC's win probability surges from 48% to 72%.
A 24-point swing in a matter of minutes. Just imagine being the Mumbai captain.
It must be awful.
You start the over feeling like you have a grip on the game, and by the time the umpire calls over, you realize the math has mathematically eliminated you.
Well, and the matchup analysis against Rizvi during this phase is crucial because it highlights a massive failure by the Mumbai Indians' brain trust.
How so?
Rizvi completely decimated Thakur, scoring 16 off the 6 balls he faced from him. He also took apart Corbin Bosch.
Yeah, Bosch kept bowling fuller lengths, right?
Exactly. And Rizvi thrives on full deliveries where he can use his powerful bottom hand to clear the ropes. Rizvi took 31 runs off just 12 balls from Bosch.
But, and here's the crazy part, when Rizvi faced Jasprit Bumrah, it was a totally different universe.
Completely. Bumrah suppressed Rizvi's scoring by an incredible 79%.
79%.
Yeah, Rizvi managed a paltry 3 runs off the 8 balls he faced from Bumrah.
Wait, so what was Bumrah doing mechanically that Thakur and Bosch just couldn't figure out?
Unrelenting clinical precision. Bumrah didn't offer a single full delivery into Rizvi's hitting arc.
No gifts.
None. He bowled pinpoint off-stump Yorkers mixed with sharp, back-of-a-length deliveries that just jammed Rizvi up.
Giving him absolutely no room to extend his arms and swing through the line of the ball.
Exactly. Bumrah finished his 4 overs conceding just 21 runs with 13 dot balls. In a game where everyone else was getting hammered, he went for just over 5 and over.
He's pitching an absolute masterclass. He is entirely shutting down the hottest batter on the field.
But the tragic irony for Mumbai is that Bumrah's brilliant figures were effectively meaningless to the outcome of the game.
Yeah, and this brings up the conflict between traditional cricket dogma and real-time game state.
Right.
The Mumbai captain operated on the old playbook, which says you save your ace bowler, Jasprit Bumrah, for the death overs.
Overs 16 through 20.
Right, but the game was already lost in over 11. It's madness.
It really is.
Think about it like this. It's like you have a state-of-the-art fire extinguisher sitting in your kitchen, but you refuse to break the glass and use it because the instruction manual says only use when the roof is actively caving in.
Meanwhile, the kitchen is blazing.
Exactly. Your stove is on fire, the curtains are ablaze, and the dining table is melting in the 11th over. You're saving your best tool for a phase of the game that you won't even live to see.
That's a perfect analogy. If the data tells you Rizvi is the primary threat, and you know Bumrah has a 79% suppression rate against him, you bring Bumrah on in over 9, 10, or 11.
You kill the fire while it's still small.
Yes. By rigidly saving Bumrah for the end, Mumbai allowed Rizvi to feast on the weaker bowlers and completely front-load the run scoring.
By the time the death overs actually arrived, Delhi barely needed to run a ball. There was no scoreboard pressure left for Bumrah to exploit.
It perfectly illustrates how rigid thinking can completely sink a team in this format. So when you look at a scorecard that says Delhi Capitals won by 6 wickets, remember the actual story.
It was a game decided by the thinnest of margins and the sharpest of tactical choices.
It was Axar Patel perfectly executing a flat trajectory matchup against Rohit Sharma to force a mechanical error.
It was Delhi managing their middle phase through smart field manipulation rather than reckless hitting.
And it was Mumbai failing to deploy their ultimate weapon when the win probability was teetering on a knife edge at 47%.
The match was won and lost in the invisible math. Which leaves us with a genuinely provocative question to mull over.
Oh, absolutely. Because the data is now capable of pinpointing the exact over, the exact matchup, and the exact trajectory needed to maximize win probability in real time.
We can literally track a 24-point probability swing over 6 balls. So you have to wonder, if data models are this precise, if they can mathematically prove that bowling Bumrah in the 11th over is better than relying on a human captain's traditional intuition,
Yeah.
how long until the role of the on-field captain is fundamentally changed? Are we approaching an era where T20 franchises will have an AI model sitting in the dugout feeding bowling changes and field placements directly into a captain's earpiece?
It's a fascinating thought.
Will human intuition eventually be benched in favor of the algorithm? Something for you to chew on the next time you see a captain adjusting their field. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the numbers.